Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you're having a fabulous day here today. As always, before a festival drops, I always make this video where I say what to expect, you know? Prepare yourself like, oh, we're gonna probably see these events, this is what's gonna go down in the update, stuff like that. And for the last ones, we pretty much were kind of very similar to the ones of the previous year. Mainly you were on the dot, other than no gear gacha, which is like, what the hell? So yeah, I think gear gacha is dead. On a real note, I don't know about that one. Everything else was pretty much accurate. And again, Tower Trials reset. Those are the two things that we were like, oh, they could do it. I also said, like, dude, if they were to do it, they would have done it already prior to this, but people wanted to cope with it. They did it during King's time last year, not during Melly's, so that was completely off. But this year, what do we have? Last year was the end. Let's check it out, what the update might contain, and see what we can look forward to. Let's jump into it. So I pulled up the patch notes over here for DN. I was going to pull up the one for Merlin, but realized that that entire update was just weirdly scuffed. Both of these updates do have a free banner. Okay, keep that in mind, and I'll explain that a little bit. And I'll show it to you, but we did get the end last year, right? That did go down. We got a chapter. We're gonna get a chapter this year, obviously. Thing is, they added player rank, not character rank, player rank last year to 100. This year, we could see a little bit of an up from 100 to 110, 120, or whatever. We could definitely see that. Will it happen? Again, no idea, but it should. They did it last year. They should at least after 1 year give a little bit and maybe give a little bit more stamina and achievements and stuff like that into the game. It's normal and it should be done, so let's say that will happen. There is, again, costumes for her that's going to happen. We should see relics, as usual. Who should it be for? It's going to be for the dragon, most likely some demon characters that haven't gotten it already. Again, last time they did it for 4 basic fairies. This time we could see it for maybe Lost Vein Melly or something like that. We'll be pretty hyped to see. But again, we should get relics. That's the normal thing. Coin shop will open up. You will have everyone in there except for the Light and Dark units we recently got. You should have Merlin, all of that in the coin shop to go and buy. So that should be this year's thing. Hog Pass won't reset, I don't think, at that time. It might, but I don't believe it does, but let's see. With it also, you have bundles. You always will have bundles. They also had some basic system updates this year. We'll see what we actually get. I have the dev notes open, which, remember, they promised a Underground Labyrinth revamp, okay, in some sort of way that incentivizes you to play after the mode has been beaten. And also, and they said late February, which means basically the festival, so keep that in mind. But that's what they're going to do. So some sort of incentivization to it where it's like, oh, I beat it. Now what happens? And if you want to go into that like extra mode, you get some rewards for it. And they're also going to like fix up that RNG thing, make it less chest-based and maybe more path-based, where it's a little bit more easier and fun to kind of look up guides or see like, oh, I can go down this path, get like an easy clear, go down this path, get like a nice little passive clear, something like that. That is also going to happen this festival. But last year, they did like a big revamp on some like decent stuff with Training Grotto. Remember that? That literally went down last year. So we'll see if this has some like really solid update. But again, if you went from Melly and Escanor's update, realize that this festival always will feel lackluster because you just went through like the best festival of the year. So again, don't expect too much on any sort of like, oh my god, it's on like the highest skill possible, right? Go with this being it's going to be a little bit more of a dud update. Just because it's a festival right after 2 big ones. Yes, usually they don't do too much, but there is one thing that you can look forward to, as mentioned, which is going to be this, the free little login banner thing. Again, let me be honest, and this is why I'm trying to say it's going to suck. This was last year's thing. I mean, it's not bad at the time because they gave you Halloween Matrona if you missed it originally, which is good, you know, definitely good. It gave you one of these 3 if you wanted like, or one of these 2 if you wanted collection. The rest of it though was really mediocre. Yeah, it's mediocre. Like nothing here at the time I really cared for other than Halloween DN because I skipped there. So for me, it wasn't really the best. Maybe if you didn't have all the DNs, you're collecting those. Give you a little bit of a copy for the other, what is it? You know, goddesses, which was decent, not that bad, but it was a free banner, okay? The one with Merlin was Denzel. So Denzel was the one with Merlin, also pretty much a mediocre banner, but both of these festivals did in fact have a free banner. So this year, you should see one. Will you 100% see one? No, but you should because they did it last year and the year before. Both of them had a free banner. Merlin, again, gave the Denzel stuff, and it was, again, basic SSRs, nothing too good. This banner wasn't that bad because this was given, and then, again, you could potentially pull it, or, you know, just an extra dupe of that is perfectly fine. Still, it's pretty mediocre. Let's say this year's Mael, you get like the goddesses over here. That might be really good. Red Tarmiel, Green Sariel, the bunch of the other goddesses will be like a pretty stacked banner. But again, we'll see what they do with that. There was a free banner last year and the year before. Should be one this year. Regular kind of free multi. That's as always the thing. Small little event, small little event. This is again a small little event. They brought this back, the thing here. Most likely we'll see like the Dreamland Hawk one. We haven't seen that in a pretty long time, so you'll definitely see that return. As always, 14 gems here. Did they give a login, or was it in this entire thing? They didn't give a gem login. They gave 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Ah. Did they not give a gem login last year? Oh my god. I did not know that. Okay, so there is no gem login off of the last year one. But was it prior to it maybe? It was 3-8 I was just in. 3-1 was the addition of these things, a final boss, no login there. Damn, so there was no login last year. Wow. Okay. I think there was only a Valentine's login, just like this year. Or am I wrong? They'll say right here. This drop event. Yeah, no. So I don't know. This is it. This is the login. Same way this year. Okay, so you won't get a gem login. You'll get like a mediocre one, but not like a big one. So keep that in mind. Be pretty safe with all of it. You might be screwed, bro. Yeah, so I did tell you originally there might be a gem login, but last year they didn't do one, okay? Recent festivals have had gem logins, so keep that in mind, but they only gave you 24 gems, and they gave you the free tickets, okay? Most likely, they'll only give you the free tickets, so stay safe out there, boys. Stay safe out there. Yep, so I did not know that. Wow. But they also had the Valentine stuff, and that's it. So really very mediocre update. They did this. These are like the events. I don't know if this year, if they're going to finally bring back... what is it? Gear Gacha that hasn't returned. Maybe the double drops for the Demonic Beast that has to return also. Simultaneous clear is now permanent. That's going to always be there. Maybe we get like if it's a goddess, again being Mael, blessing of whatever event, which is like the blessing one. You can have that also. So many different things they can go and drop for this update. On the event side of things, will they actually? Probably not. It's a global Annie. Maybe they'll save it for the JP one, which is usually the hyped one. If they choose to bring back the SSR Gotcha rate up like the regular one for the banners, that's also there for some potentially good stuff, depending on if they want to be that nice. On the unit side of things, right, which I have a Freya tab here open, which calm down, it's not for any other reason. Let me just open it up for later. Not like that. All right, chill out, let's do a video. Calm down. Every way I say it sounds hella sus, but what was I talking about? Yeah, so last year again was a Sin being Deanne. Year before that was Merlin, again a Sin. I'm thinking this year they'll do a Sin again. They could do Mael, definitely, right? If you were to look at it, it kind of makes sense if it is Mael, right? We just got a fairy. We had a demon right then. We had a human buff over here. We had a demon before that. The hell has the goddesses been? They've been just missing for a very long time, since basically Elizabeth, right? She's the only goddess. Brunhild's not. Freya, no. Yeah, so it's been a while. Definitely could see one. But again, they've usually done Sins. Most likely you'll expect another Sin character. That being Bond, because he soon will get like a secret treasure or an upgrade. Gother could also be one. He's the other Sin that needs one. Deanne we recently got last year, so I don't expect to see one there. Melly, obviously no. Could be Demon King Zeldris if they wanted to. Could be, again, Mael if they wanted to. Could be... Demon King Meliodas, that one too. Those are mainly the options. Again, I lean on a Sin being the thing, but if it is Mael, all right, it would suck because I want him to be a light unit, but if it is Mael, boom, they'll do it that way, where he just is a red, blue, or green. We recently just went into a light, dark, then a light festival. Seems a little bit off, so I don't want to see that per se, but again, that's really it. On the unit side of things, expect a Sin, but you could be greeted with maybe Mael or someone else of that sort, right? So that is there. With that really being it, that's all to look forward to in this update. The dev notes really didn't give us too much other than we have a good amount of plans for the year. Stay tuned. That's like later for the year. Underground Labyrinth. Okay, stay tuned. That's for February. This also, which they didn't say a date. I don't think it's gonna like launch in February, and then this also really isn't too much to care for. So mainly, there's not much to look forward to in this month. Otherwise, Dev Notes would have like hyped you up, like, oh, we have this coming back, we have Gear Gacha with this, like, oh, prepare for a event we kind of vaulted or something like that, right? Didn't say it, so not much to look forward to there. But yeah, without joining the video anymore, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a stay safe. That's been it from me. Peace out and enjoy. Just want to talk about what the festival is going to look like, what to expect, and just tame your expectations if you're expecting one of the best updates of the year. It won't be that. Maybe it will. You know what? I'm going to take that back. Maybe it will. Who knows? Who knows?